Guys, I played some Draven today, and yeah, I usually don't play Draven a lot, but he actually feels pretty good. So for the items, you're going to want to go Bloodthirster, Stormrazor, Stasis or Protobelt, Affinity Edge, Guardian Angel, and Mortal Reminder. This is a pretty strong build, and I think getting Bloodthirster and Stormrazor are two of one of the most important items on Draven, because you're going to get that healing and a little bit of a barrier from Bloodthirster, and Stormrazor will give you that slow, which will help chase down and run people down. And for the runes, you're going to want to go Conquer, Brutal, Adaptive Carapace, and Sweet Tooth. Now, I feel like Brutal is really good because as Draven, you just want to be super punishing in the early game. And you do not need to go Hunter Vamp because you already got Bloodthirster in your build, so you don't need that much healing. I think winning lane is just the most important thing with Draven. And for the spells, you're going to want to go Exhaust and Flash. So yeah, guys, this gameplay, it was crazy. We ran the Draven. It wasn't a super high kill game, but it shows a perfect way of snowballing with this champion. So now that we said that, let's hop right on into the gameplay. All right, guys, we're now in the gameplay, and yeah, man, I recorded some Draven games and decided to start playing some Draven because honestly, he's pretty good, and I think that there is definitely good situations to pick him in. Now, our dragon lane matchup is Draven Gragas versus Ezreal Nami. So the benefits from both sides is Gragas Draven has a lot of damage in the early game. Like we can barrel, Gragas can E on them and CC them. I could CC them and do a bunch of damage. Plus it's Ezreal. Ezreal and Nami cannot trade auto text to me, but the Ezreal can farm from far away. But right here, this Ezreal is in a bad spot. And honestly, I was thinking back at that play, I was thinking, could I have actually just exhausted him and ran him down? But no, there was no point to do that. But right there, I already took advantage of a clean play. I saw that the Ezreal started in the river, so I took advantage of it and made sure to get a couple auto attacks in, and that's really important. So right here, I'm waiting to turn level 2, and what I'll do is I'm gonna turn level 2, use my W, and use my W again. That is really important. Right there, they just burned their exhaust. This is really good because now they're down a spell and we can freely do whatever we want because I still have my exhaust. As you see, I exhaust and I'm just autoing away. Boom, boom. This Ezreal is already extremely low and I don't care about how much damage I'm taking, right? Because I have a Jason Gragas, like we want to dive this turret now that they are low. So obviously I'm shoving in this wave really fast and now I'm getting ready to die. Auto attacked, I'm waiting for my Gragas to go in. We finish off the kill onto Ezreal and the Jace gets the kill onto Nami. Sadly, I didn't get either of those kills there, but it is okay. So one of the best combos to do in the laning phase with Draven is once you turn level 2, you auto attack, W, use that movement speed to close the gap onto the ADC, and then click your W again. Okay, and you guys could go back and look at what I did once I turned level 2. That's how I was able to get onto Ezreal, and I just click my exhaust. And you could literally do that against any type of ADC. Now, in the draft, guys, I picked Draven after they picked Ezreal. The importance of that is huge. I don't want to get counter-picked when I pick Draven. Draven is not a champion that works in every single situation, so you should not pick him early in draft. That is one of the biggest ways to lose. Like, that's why I don't play Draven very often, because there's not so many situations to run Draven. But they picked Ezreal, and that's an easy lane. Like, Ezreal wants to scale into the late game, and Draven wants to punish the early game. So that's a perfect matchup for me. As you can see, like, we definitely can just go in. And right here, I wasn't ready to hop onto that E, but we're just auto attacking him away, and honestly that was a terrible ult. You could obviously tell I do not play Draven very much, but as you can see, we're completely snowballing this lane. Oh my god, I can't believe that our Jace died from that. But to keep this in mind as well, by the way, I am playing in trio queue right now, so I'm playing with the Gragas and Jace. So obviously you might be wondering, like, wow Zio, you're so lucky, you have teammates that actually dive the things. Yeah, I know, I am very lucky. I was playing in some trio queue, and right here we are just going on the Vi. I think the Vi maybe misplayed that. I'm not sure what our game plan was, but we end up getting a free kill right there. So that's why it's just super good. When you're playing Draven, you want to snowball in the early game, and that's exactly what we're doing right here. So so right here, I pick up my two components for Bloodthirster, and as you can see, I have BF Sword and 2 components for Bloodthirster, which is really strong. BF Sword is really strong to go early on Draven, so that's why I decided to actually opt for that BF Sword before even getting any of the components for Bloodthirster. And right here, you can see that they are kind of a little bit overextended, but it's very hard to kind of jump onto an Ezreal because he does have that dash. But honestly, if I committed a little bit more, maybe I would have been able to get that kill. But dang, look at those damage on those auto attacks. Like, it's actually ridiculous. And plus, we have our fruit. And since we have a Vamp Scepter, we are healing in lane quite well. And so, yeah, I mean, against this type of lane, you want to snowball, and I want to hit this turret. So you can see I'm shoving in this wave, and since we did damage the Nami and the Ezreal, they had to take a full reset, and just like that, we get this turret. I mean, look at that, 176 damage per auto attack onto a turret. I mean, that is just ridiculous. And so right here, I'm just farming up and going crazy. So in all the Draven games I've played, there's just a really high chance of a guaranteed snowball, really, especially when you draft Draven correctly. Like, some things to look out for when you're playing Draven is CC. I mean, CC is really annoying. Like Wukong, oh my god, that's annoying. Wukong, Vi is a good counter to Draven because she can just ult Draven, but this Vi was not playing super good. So, you know, you're never going to get a perfect draft, but when we're looking at the enemy team's comp, I mean, there's literally not much threats at all. Like, I just have to worry about Vile, really, and I guess getting caught out by anything. But ADCs that you don't want to pick Draven into is Caitlyn. Caitlyn's a huge one because Caitlyn can just outrange you, and just your laning phase will just not be easy. So don't put yourself through that. I mean, if they go Caitlyn, you know, go Ashe or you could go Ashe, Jhin, things like that. Like, counterpick the Caitlyn, you know. Don't go Draven into Caitlyn. I personally like going Lucian into Draven sometimes because you could maybe, like, it's definitely skilled. It's a skilled matchup because you could outplay the Draven with Lucian. But I would mainly say that Draven definitely wins against Lucian because Lucian does have that short range. So it's very easy to get onto Lucian. But if you're playing Draven and your support, if the Lucian has a really good support and you don't have a good support, then you could probably lose that lane. So yeah, so just make sure you play Draven into lanes like, okay, let me tell you. If you want to pick Draven into Kai'Sa, Tristana, Ezreal, what's some other weak stuff? I mean, you could go Draven into Misfortune. I don't see why not. That's not really going to be a big threat for you. But as you can see, like, champions that are weaker in the early game, it just makes the game so much easier for you to play. And that's the key. When you got a good setup in draft and a good team composition, you're going to have a fun time playing Draven. And for example, in this game, I had a blast, right? I mean, I'm already snowballing this game. And so right here, we're in the mid lane, and I think I made a problem of staying in the mid lane too long this game. Like, I think I should have gone into the top lane and continue snowballing. Like, when I come into mid, I basically am useless. I can't really do anything. I mean, you can see I'm basically getting outranged and outpoked from this Brand and Ezreal, and Nami's just healing them up. So it definitely feels very frustrating right here. I don't know how the Darius got that pull onto me. I'm not going to lie to you, but our colleague does kind of come in clutch, but okay, I'm surprised she kind of missed some of that. But yeah, what's very interesting is when you snowball super hard, the game gets in a really weird state, and I feel like right now, for example, is very weird because, like, I was 2-0 and I had 4 assists and just super snowballed, but somehow the game slows down. And I think that is a big part on my end. Like, I should have came straight up into the top lane to begin with. Like, this is the thing. Macro is very important in ranked, especially when you do get ahead, because you could. I don't know if you guys have ever been in games where you guys have gone fed, but you're like, you feel like you're slowly losing the game, and what that means is that's all about macros. Like, when you feel like you're ahead, but like you're somehow like losing the game, is because you're getting out macro. And I definitely, after snowballing my lane so hard, I was like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. I went on to autopilot. As you can see, we came into the top lane, and look how much stuff we got done. I mean, we placed Rift, we got 2 turrets top. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, right here, I used my ultimate to cancel the Brand's reset. That's really important because we're trying to siege and inhib, so we don't want them to all be resetting so that they can contest us here. And right there, oh my god, the Vi just disappeared and we ended up getting an inhib. The Darius ended up pulling me, but I'm totally fine with that. But right here, we got to be careful because the Ezreal and Brand, like, we don't want to give them any takedowns or any bounties, right? Because they are a late game comp and they definitely have a chance to win. So right here, I'm kind of looking for some auto attacks. I look to flash E forward, and it's like, come on, the fact that I don't crit on that Ezreal auto attack, I think is ridiculous. Like, I don't know, like, that's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know, that's crazy that Ezreal lived. So yeah, I mean, that was like a kind of a troll thing. So yeah, we end up getting the top inhib, get a kill, and you know, we make some plays happen, but we did end up getting ourselves killed, which is the best. I mean, if you think of our 2 deaths right now, they were pretty avoidable. I mean, you got the first one, which was when Darius Protobelt pulled me and died, and then that top play where I E-flashed forward and tried to kill 2 people. But, you know, like, I had some pretty avoidable deaths, but when you snowball the game super hard, I mean, there's nothing really that any team can do. And the nice thing with Draven is you do things so fast. I mean, you can clear jungle camps really fast, you can clear objectives really fast, and just look at this Vi. She's gone. Yo, where did she go, guys? And now we could just do the objective. Now, when you're doing an objective, I like to go into the pit with Draven because then the axes like land in the same spot. You can mess around with it, but when you take objectives, you kind of want to just stand still and just let the axes go automatically so you can just pick them up a little bit easier. I see that my teammates are fighting across the map, but I'm actually making the smart play by coming down in the bot lane and just shoving it and getting more gold for myself. Like, this game, it's not like there's so many crazy team fights happening for me. And as you can see, I was going to go for this next inhib, but I really don't want to throw, and I saw that maybe Darius could come behind me, so I decided to rotate up to mid. And this is a decent play because this at least gives us a chance to get this top turret while they're distracted by the Rift bot. So pretty good macro play. I mean, we taken out all their turrets. I mean, we're literally eating this team alive. And this is what shows the power of snowballing in general, and how good it can be. Now, I'm telling you right now, I think that I am going to start playing Draven more, especially when I'm in trio queue. I mean, you guys saw what we did to this bot lane. Obviously, it's super easy because as you guys can see in the camera, you guys can see me talking. I was talking to my people that I was playing with, and so it's easier to make those type of calls together. Like, so, you know, whenever I'm playing solo queue, I'm always destroying like my lane, but my jungler is never able to capitalize on it because, like, you know, maybe he's distracted, not paying attention, or, you know, he's not really thinking about it. But at least in this, I can make some calls. Right here, the Darius decides to go on me, but since Brand flashed forward to ult me, that's when I had to flash. And right here, I just have to be careful because they did use a lot on me. I mean, they really forced pretty hard on me. But guys, look at Bloodthirster and how much I am healing. It's literally ridiculous. Oh my god, I'm back to full HP, guys. God, Bloodthirster's insane. Maybe I gotta start building Bloodthirster on more champs. But right here, I see a Darius not knowing where to go. Man, that's crazy. He ended up protobelting out of my E, so he did end up living because of that. That is actually crazy. And right here, the Ezreal wanted some. I mean, look at how much damage I'm doing. That is ridiculous. Obviously, the Ezreal is a little bit tankier because of Iceborne Gauntlet. So I do end up backing off and just kind of getting ready to do... I was thinking about getting ready to do Baron after my shot because, like, that's really the next big thing to do. I mean, you really do not want to end against an Ezreal, a Brand. These are 2 late game powerhouses. I mean, Brand is super good into our comp because we have 4 melee champions on our team. So Brand is a phenomenal pick against our composition. So just make sure when you are ahead, you do not throw, because that's one of the easiest ways to lose. And obviously, you could tell that Vi is pretty tilted with how this game's gone so far. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you, most Draven games I play, the games end up looking like this. Like, I swear, when I play Draven, no team fights happen because the enemy team is always like hiding on their turrets or fighting my other teammates. Like, they do not fight me. And so right here, I was actually limit testing. I was just curious, like, can me and Gragas do this? Do the Baron, and I think we can, especially since I do have Bloodthirster. I don't think we could have finished it without getting a third party. Like, I don't know if we could have just done duo and get it, but right here, we do end up securing that freaking Baron. I was a little worried about Ezreal ult, but luckily, you know, he didn't end up Ezreal ulting. And just look, we just clear this wave so fast. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the nice thing is you rarely run out of energy on Draven. Like, I love that. I think that's really good, because if Draven ran out of energy, that would be terrible, because, you know, he has to spam his W a lot. And yeah, so right here, we're going to start trying to finish and close this game out, because, I mean, that's what it is. We got the Baron. We need to push multiple lanes, and the lanes we got to push is the mid and bot turret, because we already took top. There's no reason to really pressure that top, since we do have that inhib already going. But since the Vi's up there, that Vi is just signing a death wish. And as you can see right here, I'm playing very, very safe. I don't want to be overextending while we have this Baron. I do see that my colleague could potentially be caught bot, and I do want to help her, but I don't want to be baiting myself trying to save my teammates anymore. And as you can see right here, I'm just getting ready to hit this freaking turret. And honestly, right here, you see me standing still a bit, just making sure I just clear out that turret. And the Brand did ult, so I do have to be careful and watch that damage. I'm trying to auto attack these minions so I could have some physical vamp going on. And yeah, I'm trying to also check if they have jungle creeps up so I can heal off of. Like, look at how much I heal off this blue. Boom, boom. Literally 2 auto attacks, I'm back to full HP. That's ridiculous. I think the even more ridiculous thing is that we didn't even end the game with Baron right there. Like, that is pretty crazy. Like, we had to rotate back. We had to rotate back to get the freaking dragon because of how much wave clear they have. But right here, the Ezreal was a little bit far forward, but I don't think our Gragas had ult to ult the Ezreal back into us, but it is okay. So right here, we ended up shoving that last wave in, and I'm taking in a reset because I want to buy my Guardian Angel. And right here, you guys can see the Vi getting absolutely demolished. I mean, you can tell this Vi is just tilted. And yeah, man, that is really unfortunate. I'm pretty sure in their team chat they were trash talking to each other. But yeah, so since Vi's dead, it kind of gives us a little bit of an easier time to kind of end this game. Dude, 1,058 damage. That's ridiculous. Beautiful ultimate into me so that I could finish him off. The Ezreal ended up running away. Like, come on, no one dies, bro. Luckily that Brand did fall to my axes, man. Draven is pretty powerful. I'm definitely gonna start playing him more. He seems like a lot of fun, and I mean, snowballing is absolutely crazy with this champion. I mean, when you get fed, there's literally nothing the enemy team can do unless you throw super hard. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know whether there are ADC champs you guys would like to see me play next. With that, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!